Hello, hello, hello. Hey Alf here. Yes, we are doing a quick hour during lunchtime again today. Yeah. Hope you're doing all right. Hello, hello, hello. There we go. All right. Perfect. So, where were we? Game. First, the good stuff. Diego asks the hacker to remove Shodan's ethical restraints. Why exactly he wants this is a mystery for now, but as we'll soon see, it's the wrong thing to do. So, what this means is everything that happens in System Shock is our fault. This isn't like Bioshock. Perfect, so we're straight in with the Bioshock footage. Cool, we'll just do the opening of Exploring, I think. Oh no, it's getting the radio from Atlas. Let's do a bit from the Medical Pavilion. Hey Melissa. Is everything that happens in System Shock is our fault. This isn't like Bioshock. Not the hacking minigame, I'll be using that footage later. Hopefully, get the logo in. System Shock is our fault. This isn't like Bioshock, where we stumble across Rapture without participating in the fall. We are the catalyst in the fall. We are the catalyst. We are the catalyst for Morning, Atana. Every corpse and monstrosity that will soon roam the halls of Citadel Station. From the off... ideally an enemy for that, I think. Oh, is this by... This is when I've killed everything. Okay. Well, get the Mantis Cyborg in. Might be a good one. Okay. Monstrosity that will soon roam the in the fall. We are the catalyst for every corpse and monstrosity that will soon roam the halls of Citadel Station. Hey Agitesh. From the offset, System Shock lays out its central design. Has anybody started playing the new Prince of Persia yet? I know the deluxe edition means that it doesn't come out for a few days yet. Words. You'll need to buy the deluxe edition to play it right now, or else you have to wait to the 18th, which is total bullshit. Citadel Station. From the offset, System Shock... Thanks, Jockin. I do get tired of hearing my own voice when editing, Alf here. Yes. Yes. Station. From the off... The worst part is... once I've done maybe a couple of parts, I start exporting and uploading it to YouTube. So I can listen to it at nighttime to see how the audio levels blend and whether or not anything is too loud to kind of wake people up. So I get very sick of the sound of my own voice. From the halls of Citadel Station. From the offset, System Shock lays out its central design philosophy, its digital thesis. You are at the heart of everything in the game. This ain't a roller coaster ride where you're in the game. Maybe a bit of backtracking. No, that's a clip I'm going to have to use later on, so no. Let's try here. The heart of everything in the game. This ain't a roller coaster ride where you'll breeze through the narrative. You will engage. You will use your wit, ingenuity, and cyberpunk toys to overcome obstacles. You have to. Toys to overcome obstacles. You have to, because this is all your fault. No. How about... yeah. Obstacles. You have to, because this is all your fault. Warren Spector, the original game... Perfect. Warren Spector, where are you? Here he is. Yeah, ideally a decent clip of you, Warren. There we go. Your fault. Warren Spector, the original game's producer, has talked about this mission statement over and over as we've trundled on from 1994. It's the thing that will either scare new players away or bring... Cool. Let's try... storage. Over as we've trundled on from 1994. It's the thing that will either scare new players away or bring new players in. The story, the mechanics, quite literally everything on Citadel Station makes you players in. The story, the mechanics, the bring new players in. The story. Different clip somewhere else. Let's do the Groves again. It's the thing that will either scare new players away or bring new players in. The story, the mechanics. Oops. How about a recycling station, actually, because I've not shown any of them yet. Or the map. The map might be a good one for this. Yeah. Or bring new players in. The story, the mechanics. Quite literally everything on Citadel Station makes you work to understand it. The relays? That's one hell of a backlog, Hakai. Yeah, fair enough. It can wait. It'll be on sale within a few months anyway. Especially considering, I don't know if you saw, Eurogamer posted an article today of a Ubisoft boss saying that something along the lines of consumers need to prepare not to own games. Let me get it up. Consumers. Ubisoft. Here we go. I'll bring it up for you all. 2 seconds. Consumers must be comfortable not owning games, Ubisoft subscription boss says. Sure, bro. All I have to say to that is, yo ho, pirate's life for me. If that's the way you're going to behave. Like, if you're not going to let me own the stuff I buy from you, then you're just opening yourself up to piracy. Sorry. Mechanics, quite literally everything on Citadel Station makes you work to understand it. In a 2016 interview with Night Dive Studios, who were working on this remake at the time, he said, quote, "It's hard to imagine System Shock without story elements coming to you out of order and forcing..." Okay. In a 2016 interview with Night Dive Studios, I've got Night Dive, don't I? I do. Where are you? I always hate it when interviews are intercut with like footage, but that's for an editing standpoint rather than a watching standpoint. It's just annoying that I have to keep cutting between them. So I just want a nice, consistent clip of somebody speaking for the quotes to go over, but it makes you work to understand it. In a 2016 interview with Night Dive Studios, who were working on this remake at the time, he said, quote, "Lovely, let's get a quote up. Quote, "It's hard to imagine System Shock..." Perfect. Canva. God love them, Night Dive, because throughout the entire development process, it's so clear that they want to reinforce over and over again, you know, we're working with the originals, like, please don't be mad about any of this, you know. I think that's quite endearing. Okay, this quote's quite long, so... It's hard to imagine System Shock without story elements coming to you out of order. Let's up it. Cool. Now that's one. Heave ho, come together, hoist the colors high. Cool. Stick this into the quote bit. wrong way round. There we go. Said, quote, "It's hard to imagine System Shock without story elements coming to you out of order and forcing the players to involve themselves in the story by piecing it all together. Perfect. Quote, "It's hard to imagine System Shock without story elements coming to you out of order and forcing the players to involve themselves in the story by piecing it all together. While the remake's first few minutes are modern and cinematic and give us an Edward Diego that looks..." Perfect. Alright. Piecing it all together. While the remake's first few minutes are modern and cinematic and give us an Edward Diego that looks like handsome Jack instead of your dad's friend who pretends he likes baseball. Okay, let's get a picture of old Diego. System Shock, 1994, Edward Diego. There he is. Oh, he's so little. Can we get a better picture of you, Edward? No. There we go. We think we can get rid of the death ball. As the 7th sailor, I don't see a problem here. Modern and cinematic and give us an Edward Diego that looks like handsome Pixel 8. Jack instead of your dad's friend. Instead of your dad's friend who pretends he likes baseball, it still keeps an involved player at its heart, but a teeny player at its heart. But a teeny tiny little thing is missing that I wish had remained. In the original, Shodan narrates the entire opening, mainly for simplicity's sake. I'm just going to use the same track and loop it for the opening. I might change my mind on that later. But for now, I'm keen not to change things up too much. Keep that going for now. But a teeny tiny little thing involved player at its heart. But a teeny tiny little thing is missing that I wish had remained. In the original, Shodan thing is missing that I wish had remained. In baseball, it still keeps an involved player at it. Let's just do a quick. Let's go back a little bit. Show the show the hacker walking around the apartment. Dad's friend who pretends he likes baseball, it still keeps an involved player at its baseball, it still keeps an involved player at its heart. But a teeny tiny little thing is at its heart. But a teeny tiny little thing is missing that I wish had remained. Yep, cool. that I wish had remained. In the original, Shodan narrates the entire opening, mainly for simplicity's sake. This was 1994 after all, but her narration swaps from third person to first person after we remove her ethical restraints. Entire opening, mainly for simplicity's sake. This was 1994 after all. (1994 after all), but her narration swaps from third person to first person after we remove her ethical restraints and she starts to think freely. It's chilling and sets her up as a solid villain. Starts to think freely. It's chilling and sets her up as a solid villain before we ever hear our first mutant or meet our first cyborg. The remake does away with this. Our first mutant or meet our first cyborg. It's chilling and sets her up as a solid villain before we ever hear our first solid villain before we ever hear our first mutant or meet our first cyborg. The remake does away with this. Diego's men. Remake does away with this. Diego's men sedate us, and we don't get to witness her moment of epiphany. Perspective. The remake does away with this. Diego's men sedate us, and we don't get to witness her moment of epiphany until the final moments of the story. Okay, let's bring this back in a little bit. Epiphany until the final moments of the story. I'm mentioning the detached camera view and Shodan's perspective shift because I want to make it very clear that... Whoops. Making good progress today. For sure tonight we're going to finish part 1 and start part 2 when I'm back at about 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock rather, 8:30. I think the noobs would be pretty mad if I was jumping on stream at 8 o'clock. Till the final moments of the story. I'm mentioning the detached camera view and Shodan's perspective shift. The detached camera view and Shodan's perspective shift because I want to make it very clear that for the handful of little details the remake doesn't carry over from the 1994 shift because I want to make it very clear that for the handful of little details the remake doesn't carry over from the 1994 version. Here, that for the handful of little to make it very clear that for the handful of little details the remake doesn't carry over from the 1994 remake doesn't full of little details the remake where's my big long play of the boys playing the game? There it is. Lovely. Doesn't carry over from the 1994 version, like the ability. Oh no, did I not download the full interview? Oh, I did, good. Right, somewhere in here is them playing Pong. Shodan's mad, using dart gun, blah blah blah. Wire puzzles. Using the rapier. You guys definitely play Pong in this because I remember thinking it was really cool. You guys definitely play Pong in this. What am I missing? Yeah, it was the Unity build. That's all fine. Here we go. So you won't be able to play Pong till your first cyberspace. There it is. There it is. Sorry, it's Pang, isn't it? It's called Pang in the universe. Because it's technically not Pong. Full of little details, the remake doesn't carry over from the 1994 version, like the ability to play Pong in our HUD. I think systems... The remake doesn't carry over from the 1994... The remake doesn't carry over from... we want this bigger. Bugger. How do I want to do this? I'll just have it fade in. Make doesn't carry over from the 1994 version. Like the ability to play Pong in our HUD. Details, the remake doesn't carry over from the 1994 version, like the ability to... I'm going to want this to be underneath it so that it fills the screen. So let's put this up here, this in here. Crap, I'll have to clip it. Okay, that's fine. Custom, or actually just 4x3. There we are. Perfect. Make this a bit bigger. Remake doesn't carry over from the 1994 version. Ah, bugger. That's fine. Let's do it this way. Have it fade in alongside it. Okay. Remake doesn't carry over from the 1994 version, like the ability to play Pong in our HUD. I think System Shock... Oh, oops. Oh, these are desynced, that's why. Remake doesn't carry over from the 1994 version, like the ability to play Pong in our HUD. I think System Shock 2023 is the optimum way to play this game. If someone waddled up to me tomorrow and asked me if they should try it, I would tell them to start with play Pong in our HUD. I think System Shock 2023 is the optimum way to play this game. If someone waddled up to me tomorrow and asked me if they should try it, I would tell... Two secs, sorry, you can do, but okay. Version, like the ability to play Pong in our HUD, I think System Shock 2023 is the optimum way to play this game. If someone waddled up to me tomorrow and asked me if they should... details, the remake doesn't carry over from the 1994 version, like the ability to play Pong in our HUD. I think System Shock 2023 is the optimum way to play this game. Hey Joe, good question. I have a silly answer. It's just a thing I wanted to do for one of them, purely because of, I'm a big, believe it or not, I'm a massive Harry Styles fan. I really, really like Harry Styles solo stuff. And he did that at the start of one of his songs. And I thought, oh, that's quite cool. I wonder if that would work for making YouTube videos. And then I did it. And then I decided, you know, I quite like this. Maybe this could be like my thing that I do to introduce and kind of set the tone and the chill tone of the videos, stuff like that. And it's just kind of become a thing, basically. But yeah, I appreciate the kind words. Thank you. Thank you for being here. I think System Shock 2023 is the optimum way to play this game. If someone waddled up to me to this game, motion array. I've had a few comments like that, Atana. It's the main reason why I've decided to keep it. I think it's quite good because, again, I know that a lot of you listen to my stuff while you're like chilling out in the evening and you're winding down, stuff like that. So I think it's quite good to kind of just set the tone, basically. But yeah. It's the same audio, Delino K. If you look at the very beginning of this here, you'll see I've actually got a little clip called 1, 2, 3, so it's the exact same every single time. Not the answer I was expecting, but fair enough. Yeah, totally, Joe. That's totally fair. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it's just the same every time. It's just to introduce it. This game. If so, let me get my motionary clip. Oh, I don't know. Man speaking to other man. Why is it all gardeners? This might be a good one. Okay, that's downloading, that's fine. If someone waddled up to me tomorrow and asked me if they should try it, I would tell them to start with the remake. Or shove your booze up your... Too much? Oh, okay. I think it's pretty standard. That'll do. Start with the remake. Or shove your booze up your arse. It is very... It is very... Should a man not be allowed to talk about his gardening? I need to get into gardening because we moved and we have a nice little it's just a little garden, but it's like a nice little garden. Hey Santana, and I don't know the first thing about gardening, so that's going to be my summer project: is doing up that back garden, planting some nice flowers, all that sort of shit. I'm more of a cook person than I am a gardening person. You know, like people kind of have that chore that they quite like. Cooking's mine. I'm not the gardening guy. I'm hoping Anubis has a bit of a green thumb, but I don't know if she does either. We'll learn together. I think System Shock 2023 is the optimum way to play this game. Downloadable. There we go. Gardeners. Yes. Proxy file, please. If someone waddled up to... game. If someone waddled up to me tomorrow and asked me if they should try it, I would tell them to start with the remake. If someone waddled up to me tomorrow and asked me if they should try it, I would tell them to start with the remake. Cool. Ask me if they should try it. I would tell them to start with the try it. I would tell them to start with the remake. With the remake. Cool. Our HUD, I think System Shock 2023 is the optimum way to play this game. If someone waddled up to me tomorrow and asked me if they should try it, I would tell them to start with the remake. Or shove your booze up your arse. It is very rare that start with the remake. Or shove. Now the boost start before the thing, let me. With the remake. Or shove your booze up your arse. It is very rare that I feel this way. Resident Evil 4's remake is fun, but I'd pick the original every time. Making quite good progress here. Or shove. Oops, not there. There. It is very rare that it is very rare that I feel this way. Resident Evil 4's remake is fun, but I'd pick. Alright, Resi 4. Oh, legit, Alfir, that would be amazing. To have a proper little vegetable garden, incredible. Like, that's the dream. That is the...
Just of a person.
That is the dream. You know, not a mansion or like a nice car. Just give me a nice garden with a veg plot that's easy to tend, so I've got like radishes when I need them. That's the dream. Perfect. Let's pop this here. Pop this here. Oh, it does not like these. Again, it's because I'm bringing them in from my hard drive. Which, generally bad idea. Here's your tip. If you have a hard drive where you have a bunch of footage, like I do, you know, I've got like a bunch of old clips from Bioshock and stuff if I need to reference them. Don't bring them over to your main PC if you can, if you have the space. All of the System Shock clips are currently on my PC. They're not on the hard drive, because otherwise the PC takes a minute to try and bring them in, and it makes the editing way more annoying. That I feel this way. Resident Evil 4's remake is fun, but I'd pick the original every time. Oh, whoops. There we go. Ideally just showing a bit of proper gameplay from this. Resident Evil 4's remake is fun, but ideally just a nice, easy shot. I should have, all my Resident Evil 4 remake footage is buried on my PlayStation. And I should have brought it over for this, but I'm not going to. Because I can't be bothered. I've got the trailer. Trailer's good enough. Here we go. It's a bit better. That night section with Ashley is stellar, by the way. So good. This way. Resident Evil 4's remake is fun, but I can't believe they cut the joke from just a stupid thing, right, that no one cares about but me. But I'm so annoyed that they cut the, I've sent my right hand to come after you, your right hand comes off joke from the remake. Like, pure shit. And also, I know it's in the Ada DLC, but cutting it from the main game, it is a cracking boss. And I can't believe they cut that from the main game of the remake. So annoying. Remake is fun, but I'd pick the original every time. There we go. Just like little things like that just stop it from being this perfect experience for me. It really got on my tits when I learned that happened. But it is the way it is. And I also wish that it was scarier. I feel like if you're going to remake it, you could have stripped back some of the action elements and made this like a really terrifying game. And whilst it is scary, just like the original is scary, I was a bit let down by that. But that's me going in wanting something that the game wasn't, telling me it was going to deliver. So that's a me problem. It's not the game's problem. At no point did the game turn around and go, by the way, this is, a totally different experience. Wait, Resident Evil 4's remake is fun, but I'd pick the original every time. Silent Hill 2's remake might be good. Cool. Silent Hill 2. Rumor has it that we're getting the Silent Hill 2 remake later this year, by the way. But, they did release that teaser trailer way too early. So who knows where the hell it is. That's a good one. The original every time. Silent Hill 2's remake might be good. This is gonna age like dishwasher, by the way, if the remake comes out and it's crap. Remake might be good. Cool. At this point, who knows? Oh, this is a good one. Cool. God love Reddit. You can always find exactly what you need. Boom. Lovely. Might be good at this point, who knows? Might be good at this point, who knows? But even if it's a masterpiece, I will always nudge. And this is the main reason why I'm worried. If this said developed by, say, Bluepoint, I'd be like, yes, this is going to be awesome. But nope. I don't think I have ever enjoyed a Bloober Team game. Ever. Didn't care for the medium whatsoever. I tried my damnedest, and that ending left me so sour on it. Who knows? But even if it's a masterpiece... okay, game logos. Gotcha, Alfier, thank you. But even if it's a masterpiece... Lovely. If it's a masterpiece, I will always nudge people to play the original. He says, showing clips of the Enhanced Edition. Dead Space, Shadow of the Colossus, Final Fantasy VII... Damn it, I don't have any Dead Space footage. Dead Space. Remake. Trailer. Yeah, perfect. Heave ho, come together. Original Dead Space. Oh, I need to get the logo as well. Dead Space remake logo. Awesome. You know, if anybody ever decides to do like a hit piece video on me, you know, you get them all the time, like the fall off, all that sort of shit. All of these streams are going to be perfect for that. I mean, like, just the fact that I'm swapping between bloody Canva to get a logo in, rather than doing it all in my editing software, just showing how, and the fact that it's now mislabeled. It says quote 4 when this is clearly a logo, but it's like, it just doesn't matter. All this stuff is they're such easy targets for someone to be like, oh, you know, guy doesn't know how to make his own videos, total idiot. Which, yeah, fair enough. Dead Space. Shadow of the Colossus is here, I think. Oh, no, nope. Shadow of the Colossus. Shadow of the Colossus. Final Fantasy VII. Cool. Ah, still going? Goddamn, okay. Shadow then. It's also because there's just something a little bit broken about Shadow of Colossus Remake, I find. I tried to replay it. I tried to play the remake, rather, after, you know, playing and loving the original, typical. And there was just something off about the way those controls were done. It just wasn't as responsive as... I mean, maybe the original isn't responsive, and maybe it's just my memory of it. Maybe I'm looking at it through rose-tinted glasses, but it was so unresponsive when I played it. Shadow of the Colossus. Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy VII. I will always recommend. Fantasy VII. I will always recommend somebody starts with the one that began it all. Actually, Final Fantasy VII might not be the best example there. In many ways, the original System Shock has not... starts with the one that began it all. Actually, Final Fantasy VII might not be the best example there. In many ways, the original System Shock has not aged well, but the tenets of its design have. example there. In many ways, the original System Shock has not aged well, but the tenets of its design have. And that's okay. Sometimes old seminal classics that are important in gaming well, but the tenets of its design have. And that's okay. Sometimes old seminal classics that are important in gaming history don't. Morning, Minato. We're finishing up in about 10 minutes, I'm afraid, but I will be back on later tonight. Just wanted to ask, when are we in Neil's cult getting jackets? We look downright smoking. I will ask Neil. I will see what he can sort for you. Anytime that someone says anything nice about Neil, Neil will screenshot it, just behind the scenes. Neil will screenshot it, send it to me, and be like, please don't delete any of my alt accounts. He's convinced that like someone is trolling him whenever they say that they like him, bless him. History don't age well, but there's something to be said about warring goddamn seminal classics that are important in gaming history don't age well. Another Warren Spector here. This is Warren Spector and Doug Church. Gaming history don't age well, but there's something to be said about warring goddamn Spectre being on the Neil is lovely, you're right. The same wavelength as me. Let me pull you back to that 2016 interview. Same wavelength as me. Let me pull you back to that. But there's something to be. But there's something to be said about warring goddamn Spectre being on the same wavelength as me. Let me pull you back to that 2016 interview he did with Night Dive. I shouldn't say this. On the same wavelength as me. Let me pull you back to that 2016 interview he did with Night Dive. Oh, I need one where his name stays up for a little bit. There we go, he's chatting away there, Being on the same wavelength as me. Let me pull you back to that 20 length as me. Let me pull you back to that 2016 interview he did with Night Dive. Perfect. I have also noticed that I didn't do the... Is Dead Space downloaded yet? Jesus Christ, there must be something up with my internet today. That's fine. Worst case scenario, by the way, I will just slot in that Dead Space clip, you know, off stream, so it's not something we're thinking about later. Okay, cool. Right, so... Put this in here. Thinking with this UI, it was eye-opening. I'm really glad to see a remake coming out. Cool. I'll tell him to check out this stream so he can see all the lovely things you're saying about him. Oh my god, this game is hard. Lovely. Shaboom. Back into the quote section. I shouldn't say this. Dive. I shouldn't say this. He said. I shouldn't say this, he said, but playing the game today, my thoughts were, oh my god, this game is hard. Oh my god, what were we thinking with this UI? It was eye-opening. I'm really glad to see a remake coming out. Sorry, Minato. Yes, very, very good. I swear I'm not an alt account, but if he wants these to keep coming, just make sure he keeps the cash flowing. You feel me? Yeah, totally. I'll let him know. Cool. Yep, 2 minutes left. So we've got two more things left to do. I just want to add a little glitch block effect here. Oh, whoops. Not that much. Go with night dive. I shouldn't say this, he said, but night dive. I shouldn't say this, he said, but perfect, perfect. I just see that the Dead Space clip has also been put in, so let me add the glitch blocks effect to this, add in the Dead Space clip, and then we'll stop for now. Quote, it's hard to imagine. Oh, taking a bit too long to come in there. Shorter. At the time, he said, quote, it's hard to imagine System Shock. Quote, it's hard to imagine System Shock without story elements. Perfect, let's get the Dead Space clip.